Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers. Today we're looking at the most expensive Australian 5-cent coins, small in size, but massive in collector value. These tiny silver-colored coins might seem ordinary, but some rare dates and minting errors have transformed them into treasures worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's auction market. Let's get started. First up, the 5-cent Australian 1967 coin is one of the most fascinating and sought-after small-denomination coins in Australia's decimal history. While many people might see a simple copper-nickel coin at first glance, the truth is that this piece carries far more importance and value than meets the eye. In very fine condition, the 1967 5-cent coin becomes a rarity that continues to attract attention in today's action-packed market, where collectors are prepared to pay strong dollar values for preserved examples. The story of this coin begins in 1966, when Australia introduced decimal currency and moved away from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The 5-cent coin was one of the new denominations introduced at that time, and by 1967 the series was still fresh and exciting to the public. The coin replaced the old sixpence, keeping a similar size and feel, which made it instantly familiar to Australians adapting to the new system. The obverse of the coin features the young effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait shows the Queen wearing a tiara, a regal and elegant image that became iconic across the Commonwealth. On well-preserved coins from 1967, the portrait remains sharp, capturing the fine details of the Queen's features and crown, which adds to the overall appeal of the piece. On the reverse, the design by Stuart Devlin showcases the spiny echidna, one of Australia's most unique and remarkable animals. The echidna is depicted curled into a ball with its spines radiating outward, surrounding the bold numeral 5. This choice of design is both creative and symbolic, highlighting Australia's distinct wildlife and making the coin instantly recognizable. Collectors treasure this artwork, as it remains one of the most admired small-denomination designs in Australian coinage. The 1967 issue is unique because it was the first full year of mass decimal coin production after the 1966 launch. It carries historical significance as part of the foundation of modern Australian money. Coins from this year connect collectors directly to the birth of decimalisation, and their role in shaping Australian economic identity cannot be overstated. In very fine condition, the 1967 5-cent coin takes on a whole new level of desirability. The details of the Queen's portrait and the echidna design remain clear and attractive, with only light signs of circulation wear. Coins in this condition are far less common than those heavily used, making them stand out in any collection. Preservation matters greatly in numismatics, and a very fine example of this coin is a prize worth keeping. Rarity is a crucial factor with the 1967 issue. While millions were minted, time has greatly reduced the number of high-grade survivors. Decades of circulation wore down most examples, leaving only a select few in collectible condition. The demand for such pieces continues to rise, as more collectors seek to complete their early decimal sets with coins that are not just presentable, but also highly appealing. The strength of collector demand for this coin lies in both its historical and design significance. It represents the earliest years of Australia's decimal coinage, features one of the most iconic reverse designs, and stands as a piece of national heritage. This combination ensures that collectors across the globe look for the 1967 issue, and those in very fine condition are considered standout examples. In today's action-driven coin market, the 1967 Australian 5-cent coin commands impressive values, far beyond its face value. While its denomination is small, its worth to collectors is big. Depending on the exact condition and eye appeal, very fine coins can fetch strong prices in the marketplace, with values climbing even higher for extra fine and uncirculated examples. The demand continues to grow as more collectors realize the rarity of high-quality survivors. The investment potential of this coin is another reason why it is so exciting. What was once just pocket change is now an appreciating asset that adds both financial and historical weight to a collection. Coins from the early decimal period, especially those preserved in excellent grades, have shown consistent growth in value, making them highly desirable for those who see numismatics as both a passion and an opportunity. For those fortunate enough to own a 1967 5-cent coin in very fine condition, care and preservation are vital. Storing the coin in protective capsules or holders will help maintain its beauty and ensure its market value continues to climb. Every year, fewer top-grade examples remain available, which only strengthens the value of those carefully preserved. For collectors searching for this coin, it is important to know what to look for. Focus on examples where the echidna's spines are still well-defined, the queen's features remain clear, and the surfaces retain their natural shine without heavy scratches. These are the coins that carry both the greatest beauty and the greatest financial return in the market. Sourcing these coins requires patience and attention. Reputable coin dealers, trusted auctions, and established collector networks are the best avenues to secure genuine and high-quality examples. Because demand is so strong, coins in superior condition are quickly snapped up, so acting decisively when an opportunity arises is key. The cultural significance of the 1967 5-cent coin is profound. It reflects Australia's transition to modern money, showcases national wildlife, and represents a time of growth and identity. This cultural connection makes the coin much more than just currency. It becomes a symbol of Australia's history and uniqueness, treasured by both local and international collectors. The 1967 Australian 5-cent coin in very fine condition is a true standout in the world of numismatics. With its rich history, iconic design, rarity in preserved grades, and strong performance in today's action market, it offers everything collectors look for in a valuable coin. It is not just a piece of change, but a rare treasure, one that continues to rise in importance and value with every passing year. So whether you are an experienced collector or just starting your numismatic journey, the 1967 Australian 5-cent coin deserves a place of honor in your collection. In excellent grades, it is a coin of high demand and big value, proving once again that even the smallest denominations can hold the greatest treasures when history and rarity come together. Next up, the 5-cent Australian 1989 coin may seem like an ordinary piece of small change at first glance. But for serious collectors, it holds much more significance than just its face value. In very fine condition, this coin reveals itself as a piece of numismatic history, a collectible that represents a special era in Australian currency. Today, it has become a treasure in the action coin market, commanding big value in dollar terms thanks to its rarity and desirability. The history of this coin is rooted in Australia's decimal currency system, which was first introduced in 1966. The 5-cent coin took the place of the old sixpence and quickly became a staple in everyday transactions. By 1989, the coin had already cemented its place in the lives of Australians, but its enduring design and symbolic meaning continued to make it a standout piece in the nation's coinage. The obverse of the coin features the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Raphael Maklauf. This effigy, introduced in the mid-1980s, shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem, reflecting elegance, dignity, and a modernized style compared to earlier portraits. On well-preserved coins from 1989, this portrait shines with crisp detail, a feature collectors pay close attention to. The reverse side of the coin is a true highlight of Australian design. Created by the master designer Stuart Devlin, it depicts the spiny echidna, one of Australia's most iconic and unique animals. The echidna is shown curled around the central numeral 5, with its spines radiating outward in a striking pattern. This artistic rendering makes the 5-cent coin instantly recognizable and a favorite among both local and international collectors. What makes the 1989 issue stand out is its place within the timeline of Australian decimal coinage. Produced in the late 1980s, this coin was part of a period of transition where new minting techniques and fresh designs for the Queen's portrait were being incorporated. This makes the 1989 5-cent coin an important bridge between earlier and later issues, giving it added historical weight. In very fine condition, the 1989 coin displays remarkable details. The Queen's portrait retains sharp definition. The echidna design remains bold and crisp, and the overall surfaces show minimal wear. Such condition is far more uncommon than worn examples that passed heavily through circulation. Collectors treasure coins in this grade because they represent the best survivors of their time. The rarity of the 1989 5-cent coin lies not only in its age, but also in the scarcity of high-quality examples. While millions were minted, decades of circulation have left most coins scratched, dulled, and heavily worn. Very fine condition coins are far less common, and that rarity drives their strong demand in today's collector market. Collector demand for the 1989 issue has been steadily rising, with many enthusiasts seeking to build complete sets of Australian decimal coins. The need for a well-preserved 1989 5-cent coin has become stronger than ever. It is a coin that not only fills a gap in collections, but also carries significant standalone value due to its symbolism and artistry. In today's coin market, the 1989 5-cent piece in very fine condition commands a premium far above its face value. Depending on the grade and eye appeal, collectors are willing to pay many multiples of its denomination, reflecting its importance and desirability. The higher the grade, the higher the price, with uncirculated examples fetching especially impressive amounts. What makes this coin especially exciting is its transformation from pocket change to investment-worthy collectible. It is a perfect example of how ordinary currency, when preserved in superior condition, can turn into a treasure worth holding onto. This transformation ensures that the 1989 coin continues to climb in both value and reputation as time moves forward. For those who own a 1989 Australian 5-cent coin in very fine condition, preserving it properly is essential. Using coin holders or capsules ensures the coin remains in excellent shape, maintaining its current value while allowing it to appreciate further in the years ahead. A carefully preserved coin is always more desirable to collectors and commands a stronger price in the marketplace. For collectors seeking this coin, attention to detail is vital. Look for examples with strong definition in the Queen's portrait and clear details in the echidna's spines. These features separate a very fine coin from one that is simply average, and they are the key to unlocking the coin's full potential in value and demand. Acquiring the 1989 coin can be done through reputable dealers, specialized auctions, or trusted collector networks. Patience pays off in numismatics, and by waiting for the right piece in the right condition, collectors secure an investment that not only holds value but continues to grow. The best finds are often the ones worth waiting for. The cultural significance of the 1989 5-cent coin is also worth celebrating. It reflects Australia's national identity through the echidna design, links back to the transition years of decimalization, and carries the portrait of a monarch whose reign shaped modern history. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of Australia's story, one that will only gain more meaning as the years pass. The 5-cent Australian 1989 coin in very fine condition is a numismatic prize. It combines rich history, iconic design, increasing rarity, and strong collector demand, all of which make it a highly valuable piece in today's market. More than just small change, it is a coin of big value, a collectible treasure that continues to rise in demand and appreciation. So, whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, the 1989 Australian 5-cent coin deserves a special place in your collection. With its beauty, rarity, and strong performance in today's action market, it proves that even the smallest denomination can carry the greatest value when preserved with care. Next up, the 5-cent Australian 1983 coin is one of those hidden treasures that shows how even the smallest denominations can become highly valuable in the world of coin collecting. While it may have originally been dismissed as ordinary pocket change, today it stands as a rare and desirable piece, especially in extra fine condition. Collectors now view this coin as a gem of the early 1980s, and in the action-packed coin market, it commands attention and big value in dollars. The history of this coin is tied to Australia's decimal currency system, which began in 1966. By the time 1983 arrived, the 5-cent coin had already become a fixture in the nation's coinage, replacing the old sixpence and serving as one of the most practical and widely used denominations. The 1983 issue is particularly important because it comes from a period of growth and transition in Australia's economy, reflecting a nation that was modernizing and evolving while holding fast to its unique cultural symbols. The obverse of the 1983 5-cent coin features the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This effigy, used for nearly 2 decades, is instantly recognizable for its regal beauty. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a symbol of grace and monarchy. On coins in extra fine condition, this portrait appears with remarkable clarity, with sharp details in the crown and facial features that make the coin visually striking. The reverse of the coin is equally captivating. Designed by Stuart Devlin, Australia's master coin designer, it features the spiny echidna, one of the country's most distinctive and fascinating native animals. With its spines radiating outward and its nose centered around the bold numeral 5, the design is a work of art that perfectly reflects Australia's wildlife and character. Collectors around the world admire this design as one of the most iconic in all of modern coinage. The unique feature of the 1983 issue lies in its place in Australian coin history. It was minted in large numbers for circulation, yet examples that have survived in extra fine condition are far less common than many realize. Because the 5-cent coin was heavily used in daily transactions, most of the 1983 pieces suffered significant wear. Finding one that retains its sharp edges, crisp details, and strong eye appeal is a challenge that excites collectors and increases value. In extra fine condition, the 1983 coin stands out immediately. The Queen's portrait shows minimal wear, the echidna's spines are bold and clear, and the surfaces of the coin still display a natural shine. This level of preservation makes the coin highly attractive to collectors because it represents one of the best examples of what the mint originally produced. The difference between an average coin and one in extra fine grade is dramatic, both in beauty and in value. The rarity of the 1983 5-cent coin is tied directly to its condition. Millions were minted, but after 4 decades of circulation, very few have survived in collectible grades. This rarity ensures that demand remains strong, and as more collectors seek to complete their early decimal sets, the competition for quality 1983 coins continues to rise. The scarcity of well-preserved examples makes it one of the coins to watch in today's market. Collector demand for the 1983 issue has been growing steadily, driven by both its history and its visual appeal. The combination of a classic Mackin portrait, a beloved Devlin reverse, and the coin's status as an early decimal piece gives it a prestige that goes beyond its small face value. Collectors who understand the significance of condition know that an extra fine example of this coin is far more than just a minor denomination. It is a standout collectible with high demand. In today's action-driven coin market, the 1983 5-cent coin has been performing impressively. While its face value is just 5 cents, its collectible value in extra fine condition can reach several dollars, sometimes many times its original worth. For coins that achieve higher grades, the value grows even stronger, with uncirculated examples commanding truly impressive premiums. This performance demonstrates the coin's power as both a historical artifact and a financial asset. The investment potential of the 1983 coin is undeniable. As time passes, the number of high-grade survivors will only shrink, while demand from collectors and investors continues to grow. That combination of limited supply and rising demand is exactly what drives prices higher in the numismatic world. For those holding an extra fine 1983 coin today, the future looks bright in terms of both value and prestige. For collectors lucky enough to own a 1983 5-cent coin in extra fine condition, proper care is essential. Storing the coin in a protective holder or capsule will help maintain its quality and preserve its details. Coins that are protected today will become even rarer in the future, ensuring their status as valuable treasures in the years ahead. Preservation is the key to maximizing long-term returns. For those still searching for this coin, attention to detail is everything. Look for examples where the Queen's features remain clear, the crown details are sharp, and the echidna's spines are distinct and unbroken. These are the marks of a true extra fine coin, the qualities that set it apart from the masses and make it a high-demand collectible in today's market. Acquiring such coins is best done through trusted sources. Reputable dealers, well-established auctions, and collector networks provide opportunities to secure genuine examples in the grades that matter most. Patience is a virtue in numismatics. And waiting for the right 1983 coin in the right condition can result in a find that is both personally satisfying and financially rewarding. Beyond its market value, the 1983 5-cent coin carries cultural meaning that adds to its appeal. It represents Australia's unique wildlife, showcases its artistry through Stuart Devlin's design, and captures a moment in the nation's monetary history. Holding this coin is like holding a piece of Australia itself, a reminder of its past and a symbol of its identity. The 1983 Australian 5-cent coin in extra fine condition is a remarkable collectible that combines history, rarity, beauty, and big value. It is a coin that has transformed from everyday change into a prized numismatic treasure, one that collectors across the world recognize as special. Its continued rise in demand and value makes it one of the most exciting pieces in the decimal series. So whether you already own one or are still searching for the perfect example, the 1983 5-cent coin deserves your full attention. In extra fine condition, it is a coin of high demand, powerful symbolism, and impressive dollar value, proving once again that even the smallest denomination can carry the greatest significance in the world of coin collecting. Next up, the 5-cent Australian 1966 coin is a true landmark in numismatic history, representing the dawn of Australia's decimal currency system. When the nation shifted from pounds, shillings, and pence to a modern decimal system, this coin was one of the very first issues released into circulation. Today, it carries not just monetary value but also immense historical importance, and even in rusty circulation condition, it continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. The year 1966 was revolutionary for Australia. The government introduced the decimal system on February 14th, a move that simplified trade, commerce, and everyday transactions. Among the new coins introduced were the 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, 20 cent, and 50 cent denominations. The 5-cent coin became one of the most widely used pieces, replacing the old sixpence and forever embedding itself into the country's financial and cultural identity. On the obverse, the 1966 coin proudly features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was designed by Arnold Machin, one of the most respected sculptors of the era. It shows the Queen in her youthful years, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Even on coins that have seen years of circulation, the strength and beauty of this design still shine through, reminding us of its timeless artistry. The reverse of the coin is where Australian uniqueness truly comes alive. Designed by Stuart Devlin, it showcases the spiny echidna, an animal found only in Australia. With its quills radiating outward and its long snout positioned above the bold numeral 5, this design quickly became iconic. Even in rusty condition, the echidna's distinctive form is clear, and collectors admire this enduring symbol of Australian wildlife. The unique feature of the 1966 5-cent coin lies in its role as the very first of its kind. It marked the beginning of a new era in Australian money, making it historically irreplaceable. First-year issues always hold a special place in numismatics, and the 1966 coin is no exception. Its status as the foundation of decimal coinage means it is always in demand among serious collectors. While millions of these coins were minted, very few have survived in collectible grades, especially considering that most were heavily circulated for decades. Even in rusty circulation condition, the coin retains historical power and market demand. Collectors value originality, and the fact that this coin has endured for nearly 60 years in circulation makes it a remarkable survivor of history. The rarity of the 1966 coin increases when you focus on its symbolic weight. It was not just another coin. It was the first issue of a new system. This makes even the most humble examples desirable to those who seek a complete collection of Australia's decimal history. The demand has never waned, and every year, interest continues to grow. In circulation condition, the coin tells a story. Its marks, wear, and even rusty toning are proof of decades of use, giving it authenticity and character. Collectors see beyond the wear. They see a piece of 1966 Australia, a coin that changed the way the nation counted its money. That historical resonance transforms even a circulated coin into something special. Today's market values reflect the excitement around this coin. While common examples may sell for a few dollars, coins in very fine or extra fine grades can climb much higher. Rusty circulation condition examples are still eagerly collected, often trading at values well above face value because of their historic status. For high-grade and uncirculated specimens, the market explodes, with collectors willing to pay significant sums to own pristine first-year issues. The action in today's coin market makes the 1966 5-cent coin even more attractive. Collectors recognize its role as a foundation piece, and dealers report steady demand across all conditions. Its appeal is not just limited to Australian collectors, but also extends to international enthusiasts who seek historic decimal issues from around the world. For those holding on to a 1966 5-cent coin, the advice is clear: treasure it. Protect it from further deterioration by storing it in a coin holder or capsule. Even rusty examples can benefit from proper care, ensuring they maintain their appeal and their market value in the future. Every 1966 coin is a piece of history, and safeguarding it adds to its legacy. For new collectors, the 1966 coin represents an excellent starting point. It is affordable, historically rich, and guaranteed to be in demand. Building a collection around Australia's first decimal issues gives enthusiasts a foundation that is both educational and financially rewarding. The 1966 5-cent is the cornerstone of such a collection. The broader significance of this coin lies in its story. It embodies change, progress, and identity. It symbolizes a time when Australia embraced modernity while staying true to its national symbols, like the echidna. Holding this coin is like holding a chapter of Australian history that continues to inspire pride and fascination. The fact that collectors still actively seek out even circulated and rusty examples shows the coin's power in the numismatic world. Value is not always about pristine condition. It is about history, rarity, and cultural meaning. The 1966 5-cent coin checks all of these boxes and remains highly desirable to this day. The 1966 Australian 5-cent coin is far more than just a piece of small change. It is the first of its kind, a historical artifact, a cultural icon, and a valuable collectible in today's action-packed coin market. Whether rusty or pristine, it carries big dollar value because of its significance and the constant demand from collectors. So, if you come across a 1966 5-cent coin, remember, you are not just holding 5 cents. You are holding the beginning of modern Australian coinage, a rare treasure that is always in high demand, always valuable, and always worth celebrating in the world of numismatics. Next up, the 5-cent Australian 1979 coin is one of those fascinating pieces of decimal currency that has moved from ordinary circulation into the realm of sought-after collectibles. At first glance, it may appear like any small coin that once passed through countless hands, but today it carries both historical significance and growing value in the action-driven coin market. In very fine condition, this coin has transformed into a symbol of rarity, collector demand, and financial opportunity. To appreciate this coin, it is important to understand the background of Australia's decimal system. Decimal currency was first introduced in 1966, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. By 1979, the 5-cent coin had become a familiar part of daily life. Yet every year of issue holds its own unique story. The 1979 coin is especially important as it represents a period when Australia's decimal series was gaining maturity and stability, making it a strong collectible from the heart of the 20th century. On the obverse of the coin, we find the classic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, used from 1966 until the mid-1980s, is celebrated for its elegance and timeless style. The Queen is depicted wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and in very fine condition. The sharpness of this portrait remains evident, with crisp lines and a regal presence that enhances the coin's appeal. The reverse of the coin features one of Australia's most beloved and iconic designs, the spiny echidna, crafted by master designer Stuart Devlin. With its distinctive spines radiating outward and its long snout positioned around the bold numeral 5, the echidna has become a symbol of the Australian 5-cent coin. This design is admired internationally for its creativity, and the 1979 issue continues to showcase Devlin's mastery in capturing the essence of Australia's native wildlife. The unique feature of the 1979 issue lies in its role within the growing popularity of decimal coinage. It was minted at a time when Australia was embracing its national identity with pride, and the coin itself represents a bridge between tradition and modernity. Collectors particularly value 1970s issues, as they mark the formative decades of Australia's decimal coin history, and the 1979 edition holds a secure place within this narrative. In very fine condition, the 1979 coin immediately stands out. While millions were originally minted, most circulated heavily and lost their sharp details. A coin in very fine condition means that the Queen's features remain clear, the tiara still shows distinct points, and the echidna's spines and details are well preserved. These qualities elevate the coin far above the common, worn examples still floating around in circulation. The rarity of this coin comes not only from its age, but from the scarcity of higher-grade examples. After more than 4 decades, very few 1979 5-cent coins have survived without heavy wear. This scarcity drives demand, as collectors actively seek pieces that reflect the original beauty of the minting. The limited supply of coins in collectible condition makes every preserved example a treasure in today's market. Collector demand for the 1979 issue is strong, and it continues to grow. Completing a set of Australian decimal 5-cent coins requires each year of issue, and the late 1970s are increasingly recognized as a sweet spot for rarity and condition challenges. The 1979 coin, with its combination of historical context and appealing design, is one that every serious collector wants in their collection. In the action market today, the value of the 1979 5-cent coin is impressive compared to its humble face value. While an average circulated example may only trade modestly, a coin in very fine condition can sell for several dollars, sometimes much more, depending on the exact sharpness and eye appeal. As grade increases, so too does the price, with uncirculated examples commanding even stronger premiums. The investment potential of this coin cannot be ignored. As time passes, fewer and fewer very fine or better examples remain available to collectors. Demand, however, shows no sign of slowing down, and the basic laws of supply and demand ensure that the 1979 5-cent coin will continue to climb in value. Holding on to this coin today is like holding on to a small but powerful piece of financial history. Collectors are also advised to protect their coins properly to maximize long-term value. Storing a 1979 5-cent coin in a safe holder or album preserves its condition and protects its delicate surfaces. Even in very fine grade, care can ensure that the coin maintains its beauty for generations to come, further enhancing its desirability and market appeal. For those looking to acquire one, attention to detail is key. A true very fine example will show sharp features on both the Queen's portrait and the echidna. Coins with clear lines, minimal flatness, and good luster are worth pursuing, as they stand out in collections and bring higher value in the market. Patience in finding the right example pays off greatly. The cultural significance of this coin adds another layer of appeal. It embodies the era of the late 1970s in Australia, reflecting the nation's pride, progress, and creativity. It also symbolizes how even the smallest denominations can tell a story of heritage and identity. To hold a 1979 5-cent coin is to hold a tangible connection to that moment in history. The growing global interest in Australian coins has only increased the prominence of pieces like the 1979 5-cent coin. International collectors admire the echidna design and the overall artistry of the nation's decimal currency. This worldwide demand strengthens the coin's position in the market, ensuring it remains not only a national treasure, but also a global collectible. In conclusion, the 1979 Australian 5-cent coin in very fine condition is much more than a simple piece of change. It is a rare, historic, and highly valuable collectible that represents Australia's decimal journey, showcases stunning artistry, and delivers strong returns in today's market. Its rarity in higher grades ensures ongoing demand, making it a coin of enduring significance. So if you happen to own a 1979 5-cent coin, treasure it. In very fine condition, it is a small yet powerful asset, a piece of Australian history, and a coin that proves even the smallest denominations can hold big value in dollars and in meaning. This is not just 5 cents. It is a high-demand collectible that shines brightly in the numismatic world.